I'm Ingrid from KBC. Who knows KBC as bank insurer in Europe? Oh, I hear some enthusiastic colleagues. So we are a bank insurer, a group in Europe. We also are active in 5 core countries: Belgium, Czech Republic, Slovakia. Anyone from Slovakia here in the room? I know someone from Czech Republic also is here joining us. Also Bulgaria. And I'm from Belgium. And I'm going to tell you my story about how generative AI can super boost your businesses by exploring, by experimenting, by doing things every day. And why I'm going to tell you more about really the value that you can take out of it. So, if I now am going to click for my next slides. Yeah, and then you think, Surf Studio, in a bank insurer, what's happening there in Belgium? Well, Surf Studio, my mission, together with my team, is to facilitate innovation in our company and also to experiment with new technology to see which business value they have for our business. And I don't know if you know who has got the best banking app in the world. We do. So KBC has got the best banking app in the world. We are very proud of it. So that's why, and why do we have it? Because we keep on innovating every day, again and again and again. Who's doing experiments in his business? Not at home, but in his business. Experimentation, using new technology. I see some enthusiastic, but no. Okay, experimentation is crucial to make sure you stay ahead today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. So, and my mission, why Surf Studio? Surf Studio is a place, it's an innovation hub, technology hub, and you can't stop the waves of technology. You can't stop the waves of change. What you can do is you can learn how to surf, and that's my mission. And perhaps we can learn how to surf in 30 minutes. So let's start. Not only do we have the best banking app in the world, we also have the best personal assistant in the world, and she's now known as Kate. And Kate, I was also at the birth, or the, how do you say it? At the beginning of Kate, and we are very proud of her, because she's helping customers day in, day after, with real questions about insurance and banking, etc., etc. But innovation, it's also linked to context. It can be technology, but also your customers need to be ready for that next innovation, for that next step. Because we were, before the metaverse, we already had a virtual bank branch. In 2017, we did a big announcement on our Investor Day in Dublin in 2017 as a big next thing. What happened with our virtual branch? We started it. We launched it to our customers. Did it become the best virtual branch of the world? No, not yet, because technology at this moment isn't ready to go mainstream to everyone. Perhaps who has got a who has got an Apple Vision Pro? Oh, no one? Okay. Who has got this one? And then you think, just reading glasses. No, think again. I'm going to take a nice picture of everyone. I'm also going to record this session. Who has got this one? It's Meta Ray-Ban. Oh, I see. Nicola, you've got one? And it's great, eh? It's amazing to work with. So now, because in 2017 we were too early, but now technology is changing. Also with this device, you need to experiment with it. Why? Because you have your hands free. You can ask Meta AI generative AI is incorporated, so I can look at a plant, and I can say, okay, what's this plant? Because perhaps he's ill, or because perhaps I'm interested to know where it comes from and who was the producer. And you can all do that with the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. So Meta incorporated, but also take pictures, take a video without using your hands. So then you see context and technology work together. And for example, if you see like the Apple Vision Pro, there was no one in this audience who already bought it. Why not? It's way too expensive. We bought it in our innovation lab to experiment with it, but it's almost 5,000 euro to buy it. This one, from a technology point of view, but also from an economical point of view, is less than 400 euro. I can wear it. I can also have adapted glasses, but I've got all those extra features in it. And I can use it during my work. We are experimenting also to see how we could use those kind of glasses also during the work of our employees to enhance their work. Meta Ray-Ban. Nicola, you're a fan, huh? Yeah. If someone wants to use it or test it, I'm also here during this afternoon. We are really standing at the beginning, at the dawn of a new era, with the emerge of LLMs, with the emerge of generative AI. There is a wide variety of possibilities that's arising. So I'm very excited about it. I'm not going to talk about the ethical, the legal, the sustainability impact. That I'm not going to do. I'm going to just show things that I think from a business perspective, from an entrepreneur perspective, are very interesting. Who's using ChatGPT or Le Chat within his business context? ChatGPT, Le Chat, Gemini. Yeah, you're using it already? Not everyone. I see some hands, but not everyone. So some hesitation, but I think it's amazing what are the possibilities. You can do with it, text generation, etc. For example, if we prepare for a seminar like this, okay, we are also using and preparing using ChatGPT. Of course, Le Chat, it's for our European colleagues. Anyone knows Le Chat? Using Le Chat? It's our, yeah? Okay, you're from France? Yeah, okay. Okay, it's a typical French, solution, but very interesting. Not only, yeah. It's very user-friendly, eh? It's almost the same as ChatGPT, of course, eh? Yeah, it's a European alternative. We are using Microsoft Copilot within KBC. From a big corporate, we are using the Microsoft suite. We are using Microsoft Copilot Chat, but also M365 Copilot to enhance everything what we're doing with PowerPoint, with Excel, etc. And we're also using Copilot GitHub or GitHub Copilot. Why? It's for our software development. Because perhaps you know it, KBC as a company, we have 45,000 colleagues in Europe, 15,000 in Belgium, and our IT department itself is 3,000 colleagues, just to give you an impression and an idea. So 3,000 colleagues. A lot of them do software development, and we see now with the rise of, for example, Copilot GitHub or GitHub Copilot, that we can also enhance and make the efficiency of our workforce better by using those kinds of tooling. But I'm not going to talk about this one. I'm going to talk about cool stuff. One of those things, what could you do with generative AI of course, is generating pictures. Who's using generative AI to generate pictures? Some? Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with it. Really. We are using, for example, Midjourney. You will see at the end of my presentation, I will present a slide with all those tools on it, that you can reuse it, or that you can say, this evening, I'm going to test some things out. We are using Midjourney to generate pictures. And the cool thing is, normally, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, to make a presentation like this, to generate really pictures in Photoshop that are specific, we would need someone to work on it during a lot of time, some days. Now it's just with a prompt engineering, the skill of the future. We're defining a prompt in natural language, like this guy is generated based on this prompt. Just by generating, you're describing the image that you want to see, and based on that, Midjourney, for example, there are still a lot of other tooling, but if we can compare, and if I do the comparison, then I love Midjourney for his more realistic views or pictures that could be created. So this one, for example, you just you just describe the picture that you want to, and the cool thing is, within this and 2 minutes, you have a fantastic picture. Imagine that you could use that within your business to boost your business, to boost your marketing. The other thing is, for example, those are 2 pictures. One of them is a real picture. The other one is generated by using GenAI. Who thinks that the picture, the real picture, is the picture with the red line around it? Can raise his hand. Who thinks the other one? Yeah, you don't need to raise your hand. So who thinks the red? It was the red one. And the other one was only generated using, so what you can do in Midjourney is there is a function to describe the picture. You do reverse engineering. So you take a picture, you upload that picture, a real picture, you upload that real picture, you let Midjourney describe the picture, you get a prompt, and then you can add things to the prompt to generate new pictures. So what we did is we did a description of the picture, then we used the reverse engineering, and then we asked for new pictures. So like this one, and then we just selected one of those pictures to use now in this presentation. And it took us some minutes, not more. And I'm not going to talk about the ethical, the IP, etc., but to just give you an example of the power that now is accessible for everyone here in this room. Another one, that's also something very amazing, I think, that is the creation of live videos or videos. Just the same method, you describe what you want to see, and the tool itself will generate, based on your description, will generate a video. For example, perhaps you have seen this one already from Zora, from OpenAI. Just take, I'm going back. Because in this one, and that's also something you need to take into account, because at a certain point, you're going to say, amazing, what it can do, everything. But there is always a human who needs to do the cross-check, and who needs also, if there are text that's being generated or pictures, you always need a human to do the cross-check. Because here in this video, there is something awkward that's going to happen. Oh, like that. So you see, and there was a group of people, and they were just disappearing in the air. So you really knew, but the rest looks very, very authentic and natural. What you can also do, and I did some experiments 2 weeks ago, because we are using a platform that's called Pixel Dojo. And on Pixel Dojo, you have access to different kinds of models, models to generate pictures, models to generate video, models to generate a lot of stuff. And I was like, okay, I need to come to Ghent to talk to you. Perhaps I can create like a more romantic photo. I'm using Gemini 3.1. And based on that photo, I just used, perhaps you also heard about it, VO3. I just used VO3 from Google to make a video based on the picture. So everything is artificial. So everything is just based on prompting, describing. I just described, I want to have a woman in a blue dress walking through a field of flowers. Based on that prompt, I received the picture, and then I went to the other tool and I was saying, okay, I want to have a video of it. And 1 minute later, there was the video. And if you think, is that all, Ingrid? No, it isn't, because I know you are using ChatGPT. Are you using already the advanced video mode of ChatGPT? Yes? Yeah? But not everyone. And I'm going to show you something you can use today or tomorrow, because it's linked to this location here in Ghent.
Hey Sky, I found a local delicatessen here. It's purple. It's not chocolate, it's candy. You have any idea what this is?
That looks interesting. Given the shape and color, it might be a type of koeberdon, also known as a neuzeke, or little nose. It's a traditional Belgian sweet with a soft, gooey center, typically raspberry flavored. They're quite popular and known for their unique texture and flavor. Enjoy.
Cool, thanks. I've got another question here. I found this lovely statue here. Any idea where this is? I would love to go on holiday there.
That statue looks like the Little Princess statue in Budapest, Hungary. It's a well-known landmark located along the Danube Promenade with a great view of Buda Castle in the background. Budapest is a fantastic holiday destination with beautiful architecture, rich history, and thermal baths. You'd love it there.
Thanks. I found this local cake.
Okay, so you can ask a lot of questions, but imagine I just shown you my glasses. Now I'm using, or Peter, my colleague, is using his smartphone and the advanced video modus of ChatGPT. But imagine that you put on your glasses and that you just walk around and say like, okay, can you tell me more about this delicatessen? And then you get everything just on the spot, real time. Amazing. And if you say, okay, is that everything? I'm going to say, no, of course it isn't. You've got text, you've got images, you've got video, you've got the interactive video mode. And the other one is like, who likes to have some music? Also perhaps a song, especially for his business. You're doing like a business event and you want to surprise your customers or your employees with a custom-made song. Before, you needed to have someone to write the composition, you had someone to sing the song, but now you're just going to use Suno. And with using Suno, you can create a lot of different songs.
Stars ignite in endless skies, dreams take flight before our eyes. Feel the glow of endless light, here we shine, inspiration nights.
Everything created using generative AI. And you have now, this is more the soft, loungy vibe, but you can have a country song, you can have rock and roll, you can, whatever you want to have. Anyone already used it? Yeah, Suno? Yeah? Also there? Yeah? And now you're thinking, what's that sheep in the background? Perhaps you're now thinking like, okay, but is that everything you're going to use? And then I'm saying, no, that's not everything. It's just the beginning. Because if you do a combination of everything, I'm going to use like my management slides to just give you the example of the hype cycle and the expectations about generative AI and AI-augmented software engineering and the generative AI, and you see, okay, perhaps we're now at the true of disillusionment that we're saying, is that everything? But there is something different that's coming up, and it's going to change the way we are working and the way we are doing business, and that's everything related with autonomous agents or AI agents. Anyone already experimented with AI agents? Ah, great, a little bit, okay. And what did you do?
I am using when I want to discuss a particular problem
Yes?
with some different points of view.
Okay.
So I am creating agents like financial advisor or a strategic person, etc. Yes. So then I have different point of view of the same idea.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't know if you heard it in the back there, but some of your colleague already experimented with AI agents, and he created an army of AI agents, someone who has got like the financial view of it. So you can really create a crew of AI agents to support your work. And I'm really making the comparison like extra employees that can support your work, and yeah, they can do a lot of things. To give you really more a feel about what is an AI agent, for me the most valuable example is Waymo. Anyone already used Waymo or another self-driving car? No? No one? Okay, Waymo is active as a self-driving car at this moment in America, in San Francisco, Los Angeles, but there's also some, plans to expand to Japan. Waymo is the perfect example of an autonomous AI agent. Why? An AI agent is an advanced AI model who's really doing reflection. Like a self-driving car, he needs to reflect on his environment, also to take decisions, to also use, for example, if you're really in a self-driving car, the car itself is an autonomous AI agent using different types of tooling. For example, the weather forecast. For example, also the GPS. For example, also everything related towards the car. And he's going to plan in advance. So also for an AI agent and an AI model, planning is crucial because you are entering the car. You ask, I want to go to another location. He's going to plan to search for the most efficient transportation or the road towards your location, and he's going to take decisions. But he's also going to take into account his environment and also planet. So he's also going to make decisions based on the instructions and the rules that are incorporated in the model. So very interested. Also collaboration between other AI agents and AI models. For example, and there sometimes it goes not as sufficient as it should be. For example, this one was last year, and this was a parking lot of all the Waymos. And in their software programming, there was like, if you're coming too close to the car, he needs to make a sound. But yeah, during the night on a parking lot, that's not the most, they had the most interesting sound. So the engineers took a look at it. So you see, collaboration between AI models is also very important. And then, what's the business value? I'm going to show you some tools that you can experiment with. Very interesting tools to also incorporate in your business. For example, Notebook LM. Anyone already experimented with Notebook LM? No one yet. Ah, yeah, okay. And? Yes, so what can you do with Notebook LM is, for example, you can, it's an AI research assistant that you can use. So you can upload articles, or you can upload, for example, legal documents from the government of whatever. You can upload it in Notebook LM. But the cool thing, and I don't know if you tested that one already out, but you can create a podcast of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So based on the material, you can create a podcast. But the cool thing about Notebook LM in the English version, not yet in the Dutch version or whatever, in the English version, is that you not only can create a podcast about it, but also an interactive podcast. What does that mean?
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a really interesting tool from Google, Notebook LM.
Yeah, it's like having your own personal AI research assistant right inside your notes.
Exactly. And our mission here is to, well, really understand what Notebook LM...
Oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
That was a question from a listener. It was not recorded, but a listener had a question.
Oh, hey there. So glad you're enjoying the show.
That's a great question, especially with how quickly it's evolving.
You're right to ask about the Newick version. As of very recently, Notebook LM, and especially its audio overviews feature, supports over...
I don't know if that was clear, but imagine you are listening to a podcast and you are thinking, I've got a question. You can interact on the spot with the software, with the tool, to ask your question. It's amazing if you're preparing for study, because it's very popular between students, but also if you got something like a paper you need to read, that you say, I'm going to upload that paper into Notebook LM, and instead of getting a summary, I receive a podcast that I can play in the airplane, or that I can play during riding back home, and I can also interact because I can ask questions. And Notebook LM will base the source of his knowledge is a paper you uploaded, or some papers. It could be a lot of content also, because you also have an enterprise version that you can really use your knowledge base, and that Notebook LM can search within your knowledge base. Imagine that. Notebook LM. Then Gemini, advanced, deep research. I'm sure of it, that sometimes you think, I want to expand my business. I want to see if there are new business lines I can start up. Well, you can use the Gemini Advanced Deep Research to see if it's a valid ID, or also to question perhaps if within my region it's interesting, yes or no. I don't know, anyone already used deep research? Oh, more people. And? Yeah, yeah, you're using it for deep research on a specific topic. Yeah, and positive results?
Yeah, it's better than using ChatGPT, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why this one is especially built for that deep research, of course. So, but what we are doing is we are using different tools. It's like asking advice from a colleague. Sometimes you ask advice to one colleague and you think, I'm going to ask it to another one, and then you combine those two and then you have a real good story. So that's also the thing I'm using all those tooling for. It's like having a great colleague that has got one very nice skill, and I'm using him for that. So, for example, we asked to give more insights on the innovative approach of KBC. Within 30 minutes, he came up with a paper of almost 30 pages, but also the very nice thing about it, it's also including the different sources. So I think at that moment, he did the analysis of more than 130 different websites and papers. And based on that research, 30 minutes, I got a real nice paper. Imagine that. But also the disruption for some sectors. Okay, operator. Operator. Anyone using operator? Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Don't have time. Well, perhaps this evening. No. Operator. Operator, also very nice to explore, because it can offer you, and also it's an assistant. And I'm using it to plan like business trips. Okay, you had a great assistant like Nicola, but imagine for another business trip you want to do, and you want to go, for example, to Budapest. I went to Budapest for work, so I asked operator to see my flights, to see also my location, my hotel, and also to give me some insights on the things I needed to explore when being in Budapest. It took me some minutes and some questions like, do you want to have that flight or that flight from ours? And that was it. And at the end, I got a whole schedule. So you see it here. I got a whole schedule, my whole trip plan, with my dates, my flights, accommodation, dining recommendation, and my itinerary for those days. Operator. And if you think, that's all, no, it isn't. It isn't. We also have, and then I'm going to stop, we can build, because those are examples of AI agents that already exist. There is already a deep research agent. There is already like the operator who can assist you. But you can also build your own AI agent or agentic workflow. And we're doing it. And we are exploring platforms to help us doing it so. One of those platforms is, for example, N8N. I would recommend N8N to start and to have really a feeling about the possibilities. But if you take a look at the big techs, for example, AWS has got Bedrock, Google has got AgentSpace, Microsoft has got Microsoft Copilot Studio. And what can you do? Well, you can take, for example, this is an example, you can take a picture of somewhere, somehow, and you can create an army of agents that do the research of the audience. I'm not going to do the test here, but I could do the test here, who do the research of the audience, like age or gender, or also like, are they vibrant? Is everyone still awake at this moment? And then I created my own army of AI agents to create a social media post about this event, to create also a management summary of this event, etc., etc., etc. Amazing. So you can create your own army of AI agents that can do work for you that you think is repetitive, or that you can also see with the help of AI and generative AI, there is a lot of possible. Call to action, my call to action for this moment is, please don't hesitate and sign up for those kind of services, just to explore yourself, to see what's the power of it and how could I use it within my business and within my company. Those are all the toolings I'm just described during this lecture. You can take a picture of it if you want to. And you don't need to explore everything, but if you think, I want to explore something about pictures or video, it's all on there. And then learn prompt engineering. I was like, okay, 4 months ago, 6 months ago, prompt engineering, very important skills. Now I see tooling that assists you with really making a prompt, so also that one. But learn prompt engineering, very important. And the last one is share experiences. Talk with each other, share experiences, what works, what doesn't work. And based on that, you can explore and learn how to surf the waves of change to make sure your business will stay on top of the league today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow. Thank you.